Green finance and ethical investment. Green finance involves taking environmental, social and governance, that's ESG, considerations into account when making investment decisions in order to provide sustainability benefits for organizations, communities, and the world as a whole. However, green finance is not charity, and ethical investments are expected to make a financial return as well as deliver environmental and social benefits. The terms green finance, ethical investment, sustainable finance, sustainable investment, and responsible investment are all used interchangeably. Whichever term is used, there is no distinction in meaning. The traditional approach to investment analysis involves calculating a return on investment or net present value. Provided the project is in line with the objectives of the organization or the funder, then a positive return above a set target was deemed acceptable. But with green finance, there are many more issues to consider. Not only must a project under review make a positive financial return, but it must also avoid negative environmental, social or governance impacts, and, ideally, provide positive ESG impacts. Sustainable finance is one of the terms used interchangeably with green finance. One of the most widely used and comprehensive definitions is that of the European Commission. In their definition, sustainable finance is the process of taking environmental, social and governance considerations into account when making investment decisions in the financial sector, leading to more long-term investments in sustainable economic activities and projects. The European Commission goes on to expand what they mean by environmental, social and governance considerations. Open quote, environmental considerations might include climate change mitigation and adaptation, as well as the environment more broadly, for instance the preservation of biodiversity, pollution prevention, and the circular economy. Social considerations could refer to issues of inequality, inclusiveness, labour relations, investment in human capital in communities, as well as human rights issues. The governance of public and private institutions, including management structures, employee relations, and executive remuneration, plays a fundamental role in ensuring the inclusion of social and environmental considerations in the decision-making process. End quote. Issues in green finance. Investment appraisal from a green finance viewpoint becomes much more complex than it was traditionally. As well as the financial performance of a proposed project, green finance and ethical investment projects must consider the following. Under environmental issues, we consider the impact of an investment decision on the conservation of nature and the promotion of biodiversity, including any effects on climate change, pollution, biodiversity, deforestation, energy efficiency, waste management, water scarcity, air quality, or waste creation. In addition, social issues in the investment decision include the consideration of its impact on humans and relationships, including customer satisfaction, data protection, diversity, employee engagement, community relations, human rights, labour standards, user safety, or modern slavery. And we must also analyse the potential for governance issues in our investment decision. These standards for running the company or economy include consideration of board diversity, audit committee composition, separation of powers, bribery and corruption, executive pay, lobbying, political contributions, whistleblower schemes, or stakeholder accountability. The problem of greenwashing. Because ethical investment requires more involved analysis and more complex decisions than a traditional financial approach to investment analysis, it provides scope for organizations to obscure the truth and pretend to be green when they are not. This is greenwashing. The definition of greenwashing, used by the European Union and contained in International Standard ISO 32220, which I'll talk about later, is as follows. Quote, the practice of gaining an unfair competitive advantage by marketing a financial product as environmentally friendly when in fact it does not meet basic environmental standards. End quote. Greenwashing, like sports washing, has become an increasing problem in the marketplace, and consumers and investors are being hoodwinked by the use of green terminology to describe projects whose environmental benefits are debatable. The problem stems from a lack of recognised definition and the failure to police agreed criteria. International institutions and regulators are beginning to address these issues and establish frameworks to validate sustainable finance projects. We'll cover these in the next lesson.